Hi, my name is Faye Monkey, and I'm going to be doing the yoga reflection. I wanted to cover some of my favorite things that we did, things that I struggled with, also the differences between like different classes because we covered a lot of things and we always switched it up. We never like did the same thing every day. And then some things that I think I will take with me for my life that I learned from class. So I first wanted to talk about the difference between like doing yoga outside versus inside. There were things that I liked about both a lot. I especially liked being outside just because I love being outside in the sun, and like being in the grass. It just felt like I wasn't in class. I was just kind of doing it for fun and to like move my body rather than like get class credit, if that makes sense. I liked when it was sunny and just like doing the yoga felt more than just like doing yoga. It felt like there was more to it than that when you're outside. Being inside though, I did like how we were able to turn off the lights and kind of like the only thing you're focused on is moving your body, whereas outside there was some distractions and things like that where you could get like you wouldn't be entirely focused on moving your body and what you're doing. But there's benefits to both, but I've of course loved going outside a lot. Another difference that I noticed was in the type of yoga that we would do. So sometimes we'd do like meditation, sometimes there was stretching, sometimes it was a lot of movement, and then sometimes it's like pretty fast paced, like you're not holding anything for a while and you're hitting a lot of different things in one class, which I appreciated because then you learn like the full spectrum of what yoga can be. It doesn't just have to be like downward facing dog and like child's pose, what you kind of think of with classic yoga. And then there were some days where we like talked about the day that we talked about the chakras and learned about all of that. Like that's something that I can probably take with me, like connecting your body with what you're thinking in your head and like really grounding yourself. I really liked the chakra day. Like just being talked through like how you can just be with your body in the moment, and that was very relaxing, and it was also a good time, I feel like, in the week to do it. Like I feel like I had a lot of tests or something that day and it was nice to just take a moment and be like, you're just here, like focus on your body and stuff. I definitely noticed there's a difference between when I came in and when I went out about the different poses. Like before I just probably knew child's pose just because that's everybody knows child's pose, but like warrior pose and the tree pose and like mountain pose, downward facing dog, and obviously child's pose, those are all things that we did in class, but now I can like name them, which I think is interesting. Or like whenever we were told, okay, now you're doing like warrior pose, I kind of knew what was coming so I could like flow into the motion better. And that was another thing I think that I got better with doing, is like if sometimes for the whole class we were trying to be in the dark and have our eyes closed and just like connect with our body, towards the end of class I definitely learned what the poses were and like what you meant by like reach up your arms, trace the sun, like have your arms go out sideways. So I didn't need to open my eyes and watch that. I just kind of was able to be with myself and follow along without having to watch, which I thought was really interesting. That's another thing, is I think at the beginning of the semester I would compare like, oh, am I as flexible as another person, or like they're moving faster than me. Like I was able to go at my own pace and just do my own thing towards the end of this semester better because I knew what I was doing, first of all. And also, I just came to realize it's just important for me and myself to do the best work I can and not compare. And some other things that I noticed that I wanted to talk about was we always consistently ended kind of the same way, where we like do a big stretch, go down, and then have our hands come down to heart center, which I liked having consistency with that because then it's like your body expects, like after you do all of that, that you're over, like your body knows to switch from doing yoga to now you have to go walk to class kind of thing. Like you just kind of, it just gives each class like a general flow to it, which I really liked. And then I also wanted to note some things that I found maybe difficult throughout the class, but especially in the beginning that I was trying to work on. Number one was balance. I didn't realize yoga really like incorporates a lot of balance. and that's something that I like am not super great at. But I think towards the end, especially when we'd have to like lower down, we had like our blocks and we would have to do like different movements on one leg, like teeter-tottering back and forth. Like I found that my balance was a lot better. I was able to do things with my eyes closed a lot better towards the end. But throughout the class consistently, that was one area where if I knew we would be doing something balancing, I knew I would like struggle with it a little more than other people. And then some of the band work, like going overhead with the bands or things like that, I struggled a little bit more with, or not even struggled, but I just did it a little bit differently than other people. But by the end, I feel like my flexibility in that range of motion was really improved, and also I just came to like doing stuff with the bands a little bit more. And so yeah, overall, I think I got a lot more out of yoga than I expected. I really enjoyed coming to class, and I felt like I always learned something every day, even if it was like, you know, a meditation day or a slower moving day. I was always able to connect with what we were doing and find purpose and value in it. And again, I liked how we learned how to do yoga outside. We learned like our chakras and different ways that yoga can be done depending on what your body is feeling. And now I know, like, if I'm sore, maybe I want to do this style of yoga, or if I'm feeling more up for it, more active, I can do like a strengthening or like kind of endurance type of yoga, because I was able to learn of that. So I feel like I will definitely be able to apply this to my life when I feel like one day yoga would be beneficial to me, and like going back and thinking of which form and why, and remembering all the different poses that we learned and including my chakras and stuff like that. So I'm very grateful that I took yoga, and I would recommend it. Thank you.